Hello from the School of Communication Arts and the American Center for Computer Imaging and Animation. I'm Terry DeRosier, Director of Video Imaging Services, with a special Communications 2000 update. With so much going on at the school here, I'm going to limit today's update to 2 areas in which our students are making incredible progress. You see, you need 2 key skills to win big in the emerging fields of multimedia. First, we all know that you need to know your software and your hardware, but you also need to be a designer of stories. Concept, ideas, and good design know-how is essential to success in this field. Putting it all together takes energy. Let's look at a few of our students that are showing that they are designing their way into a real future. Let's start with character animation in a short movie created in our computer art and animation program called Roadkill. It features a small cast of incredible characters, including this fellow.
Watch out, Hollywood. Move over, Disney, or you may be run right over by the new generation of movie animators. The clips you are seeing are part of a unique computer-animated short movie called Roadkill. It was produced by a group of students attending the School of Communication Arts in Minneapolis.
I went to school down in Illinois 2 years ago for film and came up with the idea, and I wanted to do was traditional cell animation, but the time that it would take to do the cell animation was just too long. So when I came up here, I took the idea, storyboarded it up, and found out that with working with 6 to 8 other people, we should be able to get something done, and it's going beautifully. Well, I'm overseeing each character and making sure that they are staying with the basic shapes, working with the ovals and the circles and making sure everything's rounded. I'll give one of the characters to one of the other students. They'll come up with an idea and we'll try to compromise on the look of it to make sure they match the first character. The rabbit was the first character we came up with, and then from there we just basically modeled it after. Every character is modeled after the rabbit.
But what's the process been like using the computer to create a movie?
I love it. I love it. It's amazing what you can do with the computer and an individual person. One person can go in and set up a whole scene for an animation or even a film, set up your background, set up some characters, and you've got an animation going. With traditional cell animation, you'd be sitting drawing frame after frame after frame when the computer sits and does it for you. The time and money involved in traditional animation is just phenomenal compared to what you can do with a computer.
Co-producing the movie is Todd Erickson. Todd also created the amazing soundtrack which brings the animation to life.
Actually, the sound was done with a hammer and a bunch of tools in my dad's garage, and we just hung a mic up and dumped a bunch of stuff on the ground, and that's where the kaboings are. Actually, we dropped mic a few times on set.
That's where the screams come in. It's actually my screams.
Well, I guess not all of the secrets of the trade will be revealed, but the soundtrack was actually designed and created first using storyboards. The animations were then recorded to videotape while synchronizing it to the sound.
Everything's got a time value. Now we're going to convert them to frames, and a lot of the animations are done, and we just need to slide some tracks around to get the continuity happening and make sure the boing happens when he hits the ground and that kind of stuff. So we're going to start doing some math. Yes, there's math involved in animation.
Billy Bob, the evil truck driver, was created by Ben Riggin. He tells us a little about the process.
So his head's going to be somewhat turned, and he's going to be giving like a Popeye kind of look, where he's kind of got one eye down, one eye open, one eyebrow down, one eyebrow up. From this shot as to what's going on, to one of where his eyes are going to be totally bugged out. He's going to be actually going, and his cigar is going to drop when he realizes that the table's been turned.
But how did he get the movement to look so lifelike?
I start off with creating the movement of one certain object. Then I'll go to the base object, which is his head. Everything is linked to his head, so that if I rotate the head, everything else will rotate with it. And then I go to certain keyframes, and I will turn the head so many degrees. Then I'll go back and I'll turn the eyes to match the movement of the head. All the while, I'll have the cigar doing its own little movement as well. So I have sat here and actually gone through the facial expressions trying to get the timing down, and then gone back and recreated the movement. And so, you know, so far so good.
Now that you know a little of what goes into creating such a production, let's go ahead and watch the entire movie.
If you visit the school, you'll see that we're different than most learning environments. Today's new careers in animation, computer graphics, and multimedia are requiring broader and broader skills. We've talked about the need for story concepts and designs in addition to knowing the software, but what about sound and post-production for putting your story into final form? Digital sound is big, and it's getting bigger. At the school, we're working with digital sound edit suites plus non-linear video editing gear. We even have added an advanced video effects system that will do it all. Now, depending on your course of study here, you may have an opportunity to use animation computers, digital sound computers, and various video and effects computers. What do you do with all this gear? Well, you produce shows, TV commercials, and how about a multimedia resume?
I hereby deputize you in the name of the law to bring back, dead or alive, Michael A. Mosier to stand and await trial. Justice will be served.
Michael A. Mosier tells it like it is with a Western theme. In his multimedia resume, he shows his art and design work, his animation skills, and he even lets you hear from a reference or two.
I wanted to do an interactive resume, but also call it a portfolio, showing my portfolio work of my two-dimensional work and also incorporating three-dimensional work.
Intended to be distributed as an interactive CD, a prospective employer only needs to click on any of the interactive buttons to find out more information about Michael and see his multimedia skills in action. As part of his Western theme, the legend of Michael A. Mosier was also included.
Well, hello there. Why don't you just sit down and take a load off your feet for a while? I'm going to tell you about the legend of Michael A. Mosier.
As you can see, Michael incorporated multiple forms of media into his interactive resume. Using the many different studios at the school, he was able to include digital video, digital audio, two-dimensional art, three-dimensional art, and photography.
I needed a wood fence, so I looked around the city and I didn't want to actually use images that someone else had done. I went and photographed my wood fence in my yard and took and scanned this image in. I think I used this one here. Scanned the photograph in and manipulated it in PhotoStyler.
No need to call for references with this resume. You simply click on the appropriate button. Yeehaw!
In my experience with Mike, I have found him to be dedicated, responsible, and a talented individual. He was always willing to assist wherever needed and could be depended upon. Mike is a very honest individual and would be an asset to any employer.
Want to see some of his artwork? Just click on the button.
The fact that they have some just phenomenal equipment here and allowing us to do video and digital video, digital audio in a multimedia setting was, I guess, a place that I was looking for. It's a 6-month kind of a program that I can go in and use the skills that I've had in the 4 or 5 years of college, that I can come here now and put those skills into more of a high-tech, technical training environment. I think I have a good outlook right now in the 6 months of training I had here at the school. I think I'll leave here with a very good job.
And get a good job he did. Michael was hired before he even graduated from school.
I tell you, that man is something else.
That's our snapshot for today's update. There are many more stories here at the school, for this is a place that goes far beyond the usual with high-performance computing power and instructors who are active in the field. You'll even find the same software ILM used in the landmark film Jurassic Park, running on high-performance workstations. Students attend from around the world to experience it all, from animation to graphics to multimedia, working on superb Mac, PC, and Silicon Graphics studio labs. To find out where these students are headed and how you can join them, call, fax, or write the school. It's a place where image makers soar.